lost number in the equation, a simple, understandable miscalculation. And what if, on the basis of that, the world as we know it changed its matter of fact? Let me get it right. What if we got it wrong? What if we weakened ourselves, getting strong? What if we found in the ground a vial of proof? What if the foundations missed a vital truth? What if the industrial dream sold us out from within? What if our impenetrable defense sealed us in? What if our wanting more was making less? And what if all this wasn't progress? Let me get it right. What if we got it wrong? What if we weakened ourselves getting strong? What if our wanting more was making less? And what if all this wasn't progress? What if the disappearing rivers of Eritrea, the rising tides and encroaching fear? What if the tear inside the protective skin of Earth was trying to tell us something? Let me get it right. What if we got it wrong? What if we weakened ourselves getting strong? What if the message carried in the wind was saying something?
One of the things that Lem I'll report that back to Lem. He'll be very, very happy and proud. You know, we've had a debate yesterday in saying, well, wait a minute, you know, you can't expect 5 billion, what the demand is to 5 billion people on the planet who are wanting the lifestyle of 1 billion who are actually having a Western lifestyle. It's not possible. You've got to reevaluate, and there's been lots of conversation in the last 2 days about what an economic system would be that actually would drive us all, and in a way that's what Lem is trying to drive at. Sunan Prasad is an architect. He's the president of the RIBA in England. This is his project. These are atmospheric balloons. What you have to do now is imagine the cube of air that they're actually describing. And this was done at minus 20 degrees in the Arctic. So if you kind of follow the balloon down to their tethered little stacks, you can see that cube of air. That cube of air represents 1 ton of carbon dioxide. Now, each person in this room, well, actually, it depends where, but we're all producing about between 10 and 20 tons of carbon dioxide, depending where you live each year. So that valley you're looking at, you know, it would take a small town to fill up that valley, no problem, just with carbon dioxide. And then you have to think, well, wait a minute, carbon dioxide, they're talking about 380, 390 parts per million, and you're filling up one valley just by the product of one town. And then you kind of go, well, okay, that distance from the photographer to the distance line, the distance horizon, is about 20 miles. And instead of looking out, you go up 20 miles. That's how thick the atmosphere is. So, you know, that little red, thin limb of the world, that's the atmosphere. It's what makes our planet completely, totally unique. It's why we have life on our planet. You know, those mixtures of gases give us life. That's why we have it. It's extraordinary. And what's happening, you know, nobody owns it, but it is probably the most valuable resource we have. It's more valuable than gold, it's more valuable than oil. We desperately cannot mess this up, you know. And you know, you kind of look at the sensitivity of it. 380 parts per million suddenly is getting out of 450 parts per million, 500 parts per million, and it's a disaster. It's how sensitive that atmosphere is. And this is, you know, it is easy to see how all our activity on Earth can actually pollute this tiny little bit of atmosphere, and why we all have to get engaged with the problem, because one person owns it, everybody shares it. You know, that same cube of air could be the same cube of air that was in the Arctic in about 5 days. It just travels around, there's no country's borders. So this is the kind of scale of the problem which the politicians have to sort out, but also the public have got to get behind and say, wait a minute, this is something we've really got to engage with. I'm just going to quickly dash on this one because there's not much time, but, you know, this is the Sahara Desert. That red cube, that red square that's sitting there, all the sun's energy that is hitting that cube of the Sahara Desert would drive all of the energy needed for the whole planet, for the whole of humanity. We've just got to be able to find, with our new technologies, how to capture it and how to bring it in. It's very easy. We can do it. Whoops. That didn't work. Excuse me. Okay. 1 minute. Sorry. Right. For some reason. You know, this is the technology that's available. But, you know, it needs investment. You know, if you just take away the billions of investment that we put into the coal industry and invested it into these other technologies, advanced geothermal, solar, wind, you know, it would be as cost effective as burning coal and actually deliver the energy. So these are the kind of new thinkings that we've got to get into. What is it all about? It's about a cultural shift. You know, we do education programs as part of Cape Farewell. We're working with both the school system, but also the university system. The universities are making MA courses for artists and saying, okay, what is the modern role of artists in society? So that's a kind of a shift, even within the arts. Political will. You know, we're just about to hear tomorrow about the C40 program. City scale, it is a very interesting process of actually driving carbon down. And I think it's probably got a much more effective answer than actually looking at Cancun or these big international treaties. So watch out the C40. So it's all about a cultural shift. You know, we've got to invent, create, inspire, find a new way of living, personally, that actually satisfies us and can make us go forward. Now, the Burning Ice film, how do we do this, is another way of doing it. We just came back from the Arctic again in 2008. We made a film. It was called Burning Ice. It involved some of the great musicians of the world, as Jarvis Cocker, Richie Sakamoto, Katie Tunstall, Martha Wainwright, Robin Hitchcock. A lot of the people who are in the film all came up to the Arctic with us, or have all written pop songs, all written material, and that is the basis of the film. You're suddenly going into a whole new young demographic and inspiring them to create change. It is it's just a very, very exciting way of going forward. And, you know, the transformative power of art. You know, we've all seen had a painting or a piece of writing or a poetry that's actually transformed, inhabited our lives. And we absolutely pick it up. It's an emotive buy-in. And you kind of go, I really, really care about this. And what we've got to do is to transfer that piece of information, that piece of emotive energy, into the public and say, wait a minute, this is something I care about. I don't understand the science. I don't need to understand the science. But I care that the place I live in is a good place, and I also care for the people around me. So the last little piece of film I'm going to play is Robin Hitchcock and Katie Tunstall both singing a duet. At the same time, I'm projecting images onto the ice. So we're just going to run this. It's about 2.5 minutes. So you just sit back, enjoy. Hopefully it's emotive, and hopefully it makes you care.
Right on the last one. Oh, last one. You can start there and then very slowly all the way down.
So we're all set. That's it.
Running.
Yeah. that's it, guys. That's what we try to do. I mean, there have been over 100 artists that have been through the whole process. They've all created work. And so that it continues. And these are just the outputs of, not all of them, but actually some of the outputs, the way we've engaged with the public. And it's a way of actually kind of going, come on, come on. Not with scientific language, but about climate change and about the need to create and build a new future. Thank you.